An open seat contest to help shape the direction of Democratic politics for years to come. Three heavyweights do battle, sharpening their attacks, while a dark money super PAC enters the picture down the home stretch. Tonight, the U.S. Senate primary in Illinois. We get to the point.
From Chicago's very own, with WGN political editor Taman Bradley, this is The Point.
Good evening. It's Illinois' most competitive Democratic primary in a decade. A seat in the U.S. Senate open for the first time in more than 30 years. There are three top candidates hoping to take retiring Senator Dick Durbin's position. There are also 7 additional Democrats on the ballot. Most are first-time candidates looking to make a splash statewide. But with little money in the bank and few connections to establishment Democrats, none of the 7 has been able to hit more than 2% in the polls. Raja Krishnamoorthi has long positioned himself as a frontrunner in this contest. He's been in Congress for the last 9 years, representing part of Chicago's west and northwest suburbs. Krishnamoorthi raised around $19 million before even announcing his Senate campaign. That move allowed him to blanket airways and social media starting last summer.
I think we only have 2 choices. We can either roll over or we can fight. And I say we have to fight. We have to fight in the courts. We have to fight in the press. We have to fight in the court of public opinion, in the halls of Congress, and yes, the United States Senate. But we should never, ever, ever surrender our values. And that means freedom, equality, and prosperity, the opportunity for prosperity for everyone, regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of how you pray, whom you love, or the number of letters in your name. There are 29 in mine.
Juliana Stratton hit the campaign trail just 24 hours after Senator Durbin said he wouldn't run for a 6th term. Stratton has served as J.B. Pritzker's lieutenant governor since 2019. Before that, she was a member of the Illinois House for just 2 years. Polls, including our own with Emerson College last month, have shown Stratton in a distant second place behind Krishnamoorthi. But Stratton's got the backing of top party leaders like Senator Tammy Duckworth and Governor Pritzker.
What they want. And let me tell you what the people have told me that they want. They want higher wages so people can take care of their families. And finally, they want to make sure that the leaders that they elect aren't going to Washington to just cater to corporate special interests. They want leaders who are going to fight for the people. And I, again, am going to fight for each and every one of you.
Congresswoman Robin Kelly rounds out the top 3 candidates in this race. She was sent to Congress in 2013, a special election to replace Jesse Jackson Jr. She previously served in the Illinois House and in the state treasurer's office. Kelly had a brief stint as head of the state Democratic Party.
I'm running on a platform of people over profits, so we can finally have millionaires, billionaires, and corporations pay their fair share, so we can invest in health care for everyone, so we can see our Social Security become solvent, so we can build housing and affordable housing, so we can raise wages, so we can cap child care costs so people aren't paying more for child care than they are for rent, so that we can invest in economic development so we have economic opportunity.
With 10 candidates on the ballot, this primary race could come down to small differences in policy and campaign cash. We asked Tina Safandelis of the Chicago Sun-Times to open her reporter's notebook during a conversation in Chicago's Greektown. Tina, it was too cold to go to Sox Park, but this isn't bad.
Yeah, this is one of my natural habitats.
Whoop-a. Greek Islands is where we found Chicago Sun-Times national political reporter Tina Safandelis after she wrapped up an interview with one of the top Democrats running for U.S. Senate. The seat is a big prize. The contest, endlessly fascinating. Stratton came out swinging during the first debate, the one that you moderated. In the second debate, she seemed to pull her punches. What is her strategy with polls showing her trailing Krishnamoorthi?
I think she has nothing to lose because polls have shown her trailing by so much that I think she can go as far left as she wants and she can do different performances in different debates.
I want to abolish ICE. It's hard to talk about standing up to ICE when you've received funding from some of the same technology companies that are helping them carry out their terror.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Stratton has been elected to statewide office twice. Why didn't she start this contest as the front runner?
I think money. I know it sucks to say that, but Raja has so much money. We've talked about how prolific he is in fundraising, how easy it is for him to fundraise. So just call people that he knows and ask him. It's a big part of his life. And if you're a member of Congress, you're doing that every year because your term is so short. So I think he just established this really good system, and the money did make a difference because he's been up since last summer.
I'm running for the United States Senate to restore.
My mother tells me, she recites his commercials to me. She says, you know, how that he's from Peoria and he's on food stamps and that there's 29 letters in his last name. She sees it on her, she's a YouTube person, she sees it every day. So all of that strategy of like blanketing the airwaves, digital TV, everything for months, I think is helping him a lot.
We moved to Peoria and we moved to the middle class. And every night at the dinner table, my father would say, think of the greatness of this country, and whatever the two of you do, my brother and me, make sure it's there for the next families who need it.
Robin Kelly routinely points to committees, subcommittees, studies she's done. Does that make her stand out?
I do. I think it's experience. You know, like she's conversational, she's easy to listen to.
I'm a dedicated public servant. I've been in Congress 12 and a half years, and I'm running for U.S. Senate to make your life better and more affordable.
She's not kind of pointing too many fingers at her competitors, so I think that might resonate to some people who want kind of like a calm candidate to support. So I think she has that.
Kelly and Governor Pritzker had a dust-up over control of the state party. How badly does she want to beat his lieutenant governor?
I don't know how much of a factor that is. I feel like she's not as petty as that. I feel like I think this is kind of an end of career goal for her.
Is the governor all in for Stratton?
Reporter to reporter, we have been talking about this for months, right? Like, what's Governor Pritzker going to do to support her? He did endorse her immediately. He has appeared with her, but he's just a billionaire governor who self-funds, so you assume that if he really wanted to help someone, we would know about it.
Our thanks to Tina. We learned over the weekend that Governor Pritzker dished out $5 million to a pro-Stratton super PAC. Also, the governor's cousin, Jennifer Pritzker, gave more than $1 million to the group. On the Republican side, there are 6 candidates vying for their party's nomination. The Democratic candidates for U.S. Senate will go head-to-head again later this month in a debate right here at WGN. We hope you'll join us Thursday, February 19th at 7 p.m. Up next, following the money in the top congressional contests across Chicago, we're back in 60 seconds.